Hello all. As promised as my previous video, I'm gonna share with you some of my insight, the investment idea or stock for 2021. So I'm gonna give you what is the good one for invest, particularly on focus on the growth for 2021. Some of the examples and why these will be the good stock to invest at a high level. So this first slide you can see is really not surprising, I think, to any one of you. Uh, this FAAMNG, which is some people call FAANG, and then AM is Microsoft. You are very familiar with that. And also, so my slide also is go with the most important one, number one, start to consider invest and down to the bottom. So I really hate to tell you this, in my opinion, FAANG have done a tremendously very well for this year, and you have really growth, and some of them really like more than double for this year. But they a lot of the future growth, which start is 6 months ahead of the time, already priced it into the model and projected what it's going to look like next year. So I actually, I'm not going to give you very detail, but why Netflix is the bottom, because one vaccine is available, and maybe perhaps next summer, if things go well, everything will back to normal, and people who get vaccinated will probably travel, go around, theater will reopen again. So what is the chances of people who are still stuck at home watching streaming? So this is not something gonna I see it will happening, probably 6 months, 2 quarter down the road. Amazon, yes, it had been a very amazing year for Amazon, but mostly, taking advantage of pandemic. But again, if people can go out, even the experience of online shopping, e-commerce was wonderful. I really didn't see people will still continue doing so, especially a lot of comments, if you know that the pricing on Amazon when you buy the stuff is actually more expensive than if you were physically go in the store and grab it immediately. So that is one of the things is maybe Americans are paying for convenience, and that's a value for that. But really, once you can drive out and go and without worry about getting sick, you most chances that you're not going to buy as much as used to be in Amazon, unless they have some other way discount or some other, like Prime is really a wonderful idea. You get deliver your items next day. You get the music stuff to bundle it into the package. I mean, they have to be very creative in order to continue growing in that space, in the business. And Apple, actually, because the electric car, I think you really will go and driving it in the future, creating the momentum and values for that. Microsoft, because of you can see the picture, the Xbox series that coming out, which is competing with Sony. Sony stock have already gone up to over $100 now from $70 just a month ago. So you really tell you that I believe Microsoft will slowly momentum rise will go up and exceed $330, which today is around 323. And Google, because of the antitrust issue with Facebook, I'm not so sure how well it's gonna place out, and if the company unfortunately need to be breaking apart, which means you have a risk on the ecosystem, the stock may not be surviving as quick as what we think is going to be in the future. Because I know that people were saying Facebook will be $500 in 2023. So I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. And then Netflix, you really will be growing, and I think the latest target and some company was saying $600. So and Apple is, I haven't seen the revise of upgrade, so they're still around $140 or $150 at the moment. So if you think about that, that means that the potential growth in terms of where they're at is still upside, but it's not going to as much. So I'm not going to focus more and talk about that. Then the next thing is we're shifting money about around, let's say, the same amount of money, but it will be shifting to cyclical stock and other sectors, just like what other fund manager was saying. Then bank will be one of them. What reason I put JD Morgan on it? I really think out of all amount of the stock, JD Morgan is the best choice. But JP Morgan had already gone up 30% since end of November if you would go back to look at the price chart. So the year high or actual even workout high was $140 around that range, and they currently 126. So the growth potential again of JP Morgan is very limited from that perspective. And Goldman Sachs will be another one that they kind of going through some banking, also financial services kind of combination. So they do have a space of growth in my opinion. But Citigroup, I have done some analysis. For those who watch my other video, I talk about Citigroup, why it is a buy. That's just why I put it at number one in the bank. And then out of that, also another sector is semiconductor, which really gives some opportunity because if the gaming is continue to surface and also the cell phone like Apple continue to be needed and Samsung, well, these processing chips apparently still needed and will be lined up with the demand of the volume of that area. So right now TSM is the best, and Intel I didn't put it there because Intel really losing market share because Apple was announced to make their own share, and then they also from a gaming perspective they cannot compete against NVIDIA NVIDIA because the more sophisticated processing chip they're kind of behind. So even though Intel did go up from $42, jump up to $50 because of the rally momentum, and then actually now slip back slowly. I don't think you will actually have a lot of growth compared to this. TSM actually very good growth of it because they're kind of getting a bigger market share. So I put TSM in the first one. Though the price is a little bit pricey right now, it's over $106, which if you get it a month ago is only around $85 at one point. But definitely semiconductor, this stock will be the one that stuck out and recommended. Then the retail pieces, a lot of retail stock actually have already grown back already. So I kind of look at Nike. I think Nike, if you think about it, taking off the outliers, which is the pandemic prices, most of the stock, which is kind of very big and organic, they actually have over 200% growth already. But this stock doesn't really grow much. I think it was actually around at one point was as low as around 70ish, but then you break it through really quickly after pandemic. Maybe like in May, I believe they already around $90 and struggle there. Then they have the breakthrough because of the quarterly earnings and continue doing better because saying there's a big demand of China. They're restructuring the way how they will check out or efficiency or space of e-commerce as well. So this stock actually from the growth perspective, it actually have some momentum there. So I think the stock actually will go better than $140 there, and some analysts actually thinking that this stock should be at $175, probably $160 to $175 range. And